Hello YouTube, this is the Roman Atheist here, and this is my video of me reading the Bible. I'll probably be reading maybe one or two chapters out of Genesis because I'm going in order, and this is just the first episode because I'll be doing about 10 minutes roughly. So let's get into it. Chapter 1, the first story of creation. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was a formless wasteland, and darkness covered the abyss while a mighty wind swept over the waters. God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. God saw how good the light was. God then separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. Thus evening came and morning followed. Oh man, I'm awful at reading. The first day, God said, "There is a dome in the middle of the water separating one body of water from the other." And so it happened. God made the dome and separated the water above the dome from the water below it. God called the dome the sky. Evening came and morning followed, and the second day God said, "Let the water under the sky gather into a single basin, so that dry land may appear." And so it happened. The water under the sky gathered into its basin, and dry land appeared. God called the dry land the earth. The basin of the water is called the sea. God saw how good it was. Then God said, "Let's bring forth vegetation, every kind of plant that bears seed, and every kind of fruit tree on the earth that bears fruit, with its seed in it." And so it happened. The earth brought forth every kind of plant that bears seed, and every kind of fruit on earth that bears fruit with the seed on it. God saw how good it was. Evening came and morning followed the third day. Oh man, the grammar. Then God said, "Let there be lights in the dome of the sky to separate the night from the day. Let them mark the fixed time, the day and the years, and several luminaries in the dome of the sky to shed upon the earth." And so it happened. God made two great lights, the greater one to govern the day, and the lesser one to govern the night. He made the stars. God set them in the dome of the sky to shed upon the earth, to govern the sky and the night, and separate the light from the darkness. God saw how good it was. The evening came, and the morning followed the fourth day. Then God said, "Let the water teem with abundance of living creatures, and the earth let birds fly beneath the dome of the sky." And so it happened. God created great sea monsters of all kinds, swimming creatures with the water teams, and all kinds of winged birds. God saw how good it was, and God blessed them. "Be fertile, multiply, and fill the water of the seas, and let the birds multiply on the earth." Evening came, and morning followed the fifth day. God said, "Let the earth bring forth all kinds of living creatures, cattle, creeping things, wild animals of all kinds, And so it happened. God made all kinds of wild animals, all kinds of cattle, and all kinds of creeping things of the earth. God saw how good it was. Then God said, "Let's make man in our image, and after our likeness. Let them have domination over the fish of the sea and the birds of the air and the cattle, over all the wild animals and all the creatures that crawled on the ground." God created man in his image. In the divine image he created him. Male and female he created them. God blessed them and said, "Be fertile and multiply and fill the earth and subdue it. Have domination over the fish of the sea, the birds of the air, and the living things that move on the earth." God also said, "See, I give you every single seed-bearing plant over the earth and every single tree that has seed-bearing fruit on it to be your food. And to all the animals of the land, the birds of the air, and the sea, and the creatures that crawl on the ground, I give all of the plants for food." All the green plants for food, my apologies. And so it happened. God looked at everything he had made and found it was very good. Evening came, and morning followed, the sixth day. That was fun. Alright. So, we're at Genesis chapter 2 now, and I think I can get through this entire chapter within my allotted time. "Thus the heavens and the earth and their array were complete. Since the seventh day God was finished with the work he had been doing, he rested on the seventh day from all work he had undertaken. So God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on it he rested from all work he had done in creation." Such is the story of the heavens and the earth at their creation. The second story of creation. At the time the Lord God made the earth and the heavens, while as set there no field shrub on earth had, and no grass of the field had sprouted, for the Lord had sent no rain upon the earth. There was no man to till the soil, no stream to well up out of the earth, and the watering all the surface of the ground. The Lord God formed man out of clay of the ground and blew into his nostrils to breathe life, and so man became a living being. And so the God planted a garden in Eden in the east. He planted there the man whom he had formed out of the ground. The Lord God made various trees grow that were delightful to look at and good for food, with the tree of life given the middle of the garden, and the tree of knowledge for good and bad. The rivers in Eden to the water of the the rivers rise in Eden to water the garden beyond. Oh man, I'm struggling. Jeez. Beyond there it divides and becomes four branches. The name of the first is Pishon. It was one that winds through the whole land of Havilah, where there is gold. The gold of the land is excellent, bdellium and lapis lazuli, hey, I know that one, are also there. The name of the second river is Girhon. It is the one that winds through the land of Cush and flows through. The third river is Tigris. It flows through the east of Ashur. The fourth river is Euphrates. The Lord God took the man and settled him in the Garden of Eden and cultivate and care for it. God gave the man orders, "You are free to eat any of the trees in the garden except the tree of knowledge of good and bad. From that tree you shall not eat, and the moment you eat it you are surely doomed to die." The Lord God said, "It is not good for a man to be alone, so I will make a suitable partner for him." So the Lord God formed out of the ground various wild animals, various birds of the air, and brought them to the man to see what he would call them. Whatever the man called each of them would be its name. The man gave names to all of the cattle, to all of the birds of the air, and to all the wild animals, but none suitable to be proven to be the suitable partner for the man. So the Lord God cast a deep sleep on the man. While he was asleep, he took out one of his ribs and closed it up with flesh. The Lord God then built up a woman, the rib that he had taken from the man. When he brought her up to the man said, "This one at last is bone of my bones, flesh of my flesh. This one shall be called woman, for out of her man this one has been taken." That is why the man leaves his father and mother and clings to his wife, and two of them become one body. The man and his wife were both naked, yet they felt no shame. So that was Genesis chapter 1 and chapter 2. That is my first book reading, and I would like to clarify, since I didn't in the morning, this is not the first time I've read the Bible. I've actually read the entire thing more than once. Sorry about that noise. And yeah, and later today I'll have a video talking about what I had just read coming out, but first I'm just going to post this and finish editing it. There you go.